Are you an online entrepreneur who works from home? Did you claim your home office deduction on your S corporation tax return last year? I would check again if I were you, because in this video I'm going to show you what an accountable reimbursement plan is, how you can maximize your tax savings through your home office deduction by having one in place, and I'm going to show you how you can set one up in less than 5 minutes. My name is Brian Nguyen, and I'm a tax advisor with CleverProfits. Welcome to the channel. I would go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button if you want to learn more about how to save money on taxes and other finance tips for your online business. The accountable plan is highly recommended if you have an S corporation. And honestly, I just see it as a requirement that we make sure that every single one of our clients has in place for their business. The reason why an accountable reimbursement plan is so important is because it allows your employees in your business to get reimbursements from your business to the extent that they're paying for things out of pocket for the business and not have to recognize that into their W-2 taxable wages or their income. So I'll give you an example. One really common one is that oftentimes employees pay for things out of pocket, like they'll pay for meals, they'll pay for travel associated with a company, and their companies will reimburse them. Well, with that accountable reimbursement plan, unfortunately, that reimbursement now becomes taxable. So that's why it's very critical for pretty much every business to have some kind of internal policy document that conforms to this tax regulation to ensure that it's not going to be taxable to the employee to the extent that they're reimbursed. Now, this can be used in conjunction with a home office deduction for an online entrepreneur who owns their own business, who has an S corporation, and has an exclusive space that they use just for work that doubles as their personal space where they live. I'll give you an example. I'm an entrepreneur, and I use this converted office to do pretty much all of my work in my business, which is an S corporation. And every single month, I show my business exactly what it costs for me to maintain the second office space, in effect, and my business reimburses me for it. Because my business reimburses me for it, it then gets a deduction on its tax return, which ultimately translates over to me because I have a pass-through entity and I ultimately pay taxes on whatever my business makes. And I don't have to recognize that into my W-2 income that I have as an officer doing work in my business through a W-2 salary. And so the key through making that happen is to make sure that I actually have an accountable reimbursement plan in place so that I can get those reimbursements from my home office tax-free. The reason why this makes sense is because if you're an online entrepreneur, you're probably doing most of your work remotely or a place that you manage and run your business from, just like me. And so doesn't it make sense that if your business is not paying for a separate office space or a lease, that it should be paying you back for the portion of your personal residence that you're using exclusively for work? I think that makes sense, and the IRS does allow it, and it's a legitimate business case. So your business can get a deduction, and you don't have to actually recognize the income, which is phenomenal. And so what you need to do, though, is you need to have substantiation around how much that actual reimbursement should be on a monthly basis. Generally speaking, you're going to be looking at the square footage of your space in the office as opposed to the total square footage in your entire unit. So for example, let's say you had a 2,000 square foot place and 500 square feet were relating to just your office and the rest of it was relating to your personal residence. Well, in that case, 25% of the square footage really relates to your business, and therefore your business can pay you back for 25% of whatever you're paying to maintain housing. So that includes rent, utilities, could include insurance, and other related costs that you use specifically for your personal residence that are now allocated to the business. And now your business gets to claim a deduction for it, which means that you get to reduce your taxable income, which can translate to thousands in actual tax liability saved on your return. And you'd be surprised how often we audit returns for clients that come through our doors and they don't have a home office deduction or really any deduction at all for rent, which signals to me that their last advisor missed something. All right, so how do you actually get an accountable reimbursement plan? Well, I'll show you in less than 5 minutes. What you're going to do is you're going to go down to the link below in the description and you're going to download my free template that I have for pretty much any online business or really any small business or business at all that conforms to the policy that allows you to reimburse your employees, including yourself, tax-free. It's an accountable reimbursement plan document. All you need to do is find and replace the business name with your business name. Keep in mind, because I'm not your tax advisor, I'm not responsible for anything you do with this template, but it should work out, and it's going to take you less than a couple minutes to set up. Now, the actual plan itself is not difficult to create, but you do need some kind of documentation around what you're having your business reimburse you for. So sometimes you can do it in the form of an invoice or an expense reimbursement policy. There's apps out there like Expensify, but I like to keep it really simple. And we actually use a Google Sheet for most of our clients, and a template that allows them to plug in their rent for every single month, their utilities for every single month, square footage across the board, so we know exactly what percentage is allocable to the accountable plan reimbursement, and then we calculate that number using the template, and then we make sure that the business transfers the money from the business checking account to their personal account to pay them back for it. And that's really all it takes in order to monetize this amazing deduction, which is very commonly missed. If you liked what you hear, and you want to take advantage of more tax strategies, we have so many more videos on the channel that are going to be coming out explaining how we help our clients save tons of money. And you can check out the videos by hitting that like, share, subscribe button and go into the next one right here.